A nice guy isn't literally a guy who is nice. There are plenty of nice guys who have success with women. Most of them do. A nice guy is someone who says, "Why can't women go out with me? I'm a nice guy." They always end up going for bad guys instead. I guess nice guys always finish last. You're a nice guy. You plan nice dates, listen to her, and always remember important dates. You're always available and enjoy going out with her friends. You're the whole package. What if I told you you're not that nice? What if the things you believe make you nice actually make you a jerk? What if your image of yourself is entirely wrong? You don't do it intentionally. You truly believe you're a nice guy. But maybe you're a fake nice guy. And that's why you struggle to find a relationship despite your efforts. I'm sure you've all heard the following statements: nice guys finish last, or treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen, though I'd argue that it is more like a firm belief. Many men believe women don't know what they want. Women may say they want the picket fence and family, but they fall for the bad boy who will break their hearts. It's time that changes. Changing these habits is easier than you think. When you have an honest look at yourself, you'll see what behaviors are not as nice as you think. This way, you can see exactly what you should change to become a genuinely nice guy. Here are the behaviors that look nice at first but are not. 1. You're not that nice. Many men believe they are nice, but they're quite the opposite. Any guy who claims they are a nice guy rarely ever is. They's opportunistic. They leave out favors and breadcrumbs in the hopes of catching bait. 1 + 2 = 3. And they're systematic with the kindness they share. But actual nice guys aren't nice to get sex, nor do they need to megaphone their greatness and accomplishments at every single turn because they are too busy being genuinely kind. My rule of thumb is any guy who calls themselves a nice guy isn't one. Generally, after this quote, they proceed with tales of many instances where they didn't get the reception they deserved from specific women. In reality, there are only so many times the same issue can occur before we clock that the problem is you. 2. Always putting others first. When you think of a nice guy, you think of a selfless person, always ready to sacrifice his interests for his girlfriend. Your priority is to make her happy. Putting others first doesn't make you nice. You should always consider your girlfriend's opinions. But when you always prioritize her needs, who will prioritize yours? You have limited resources of time, energy, and money. When you invest everything in your girlfriend, you have nothing left for you. You might even resent your girlfriend or expect her to make the same sacrifices as you when she never asked you to do it. It doesn't make you nice because you'll burn out. What to do? You're not a monster because you care for your interests. When you don't care for your needs, you become dependent on your partner. That's the first step toward a toxic relationship. You're not a superhero because you like to self-sacrifice. Genuinely nice guys know they have to be well before they start a relationship. They know that when you have more energy. This way, you can spend more high-quality time with your girlfriend. Prioritize yourself before you prioritize your relationship. 3. Avoid arguments at all costs. You may think the secret to being nice is to avoid arguments, but that's a misconception. You can't escape from arguments in relationships. When you don't argue, that means one part is holding back. You're different people with different hobbies, opinions, and backgrounds. You're bound to argue because you're not the same person. And that's okay. It's impossible to agree all the time. Your problems won't disappear because you don't argue. It's quite the opposite. You'll make it worse. When you avoid difficult conversations, the problem grows to a point when you can't fix it anymore. What you thought made you nice is what destroyed your relationship. What to do? You're not nice because you avoid arguments. Truly nice boyfriends focus on solving problems, not avoiding them. Don't be afraid to confront your partner. When you avoid a problem, that's a short-term solution. But when you confront her, you fix it for the long term. Be ready to hear unpleasant things. The hardest part of arguments isn't to speak up, it's to listen to the other side. But if you don't listen to the other side, you won't change anything. So be open-minded. Remember, you're on the same team. It's the two of you against the problem, not one against the other. 4. You don't seem genuine. Nice guys tend to be people pleasers due to everything they do being goal-orientated. Because of this, any affection shown doesn't seem genuine or unique. Many have an agenda to give with the expectation of receiving, which makes everything feel fake. For us, when we see it, we see this as proof that you don't want us specifically, but you want to use us to prop your ego. Gestures of goodwill aren't meant to be transactional, nor is kindness a gateway into relationships. It takes more than that. There is nothing more off-putting than a male friend thinking you owe them sex for doing the bare minimum requirement of human decency. These men are snakes trying to pretend to be Labrador. Entitlement isn't sexy. 5. Texting too often. Fake nice guys aren't afraid to show when they're interested. You text first, ask her about her day, and send multiple texts so she knows you're thinking of her. Except texts don't make you nice. You have to read the room. Imagine you send 10 texts in a day, and she only replies twice. It doesn't take a genius to see you're way more invested in this relationship than her. You're not equal because your energy doesn't match. What if you think it's nice, but she thinks it's intrusive? The same action can be nice or intrusive, depending on the point of view. So watch how she reacts to learn how she truly feels. This way, you can adjust your actions. What to do? Genuinely nice guys watch how the girl feels so they can adjust their actions. They learn how to read the room. This way, they make sure she's not uncomfortable. Here are a few things to watch out for before you bombard her with texts. How often does she text you back? Does the conversation feel natural or forced? When she texts, does it leave room for conversation? 6. You forget that attraction is complex. The men who tend to get stuck in the friend zone might not be attractive enough on their own, physically, socially, or otherwise, and so try to compensate for their shortcomings by investing in women more than their peers. In other words, they might use kindness to try and make up for what they lack elsewhere, which I have to agree with. Many guys have claimed that I stuck them in the friend zone, even when there was never any attraction there. Being nice isn't enough to make up for the deficit. I have had male friends shoot for the moon with girls they would never have a chance with, hoping that by being kind, they could somehow get there. But it isn't enough. I personally blame movies and TV shows. The media we consume has been male-dominated for so long and has obscured real life. Hollywood has a problem when it comes to casting. It was found that many movies feature couples that could be a father and daughter. On average, the age difference is 20 years. There is also a difference regarding appearance. Whereas men are allowed to age on screen, many actresses hit their peak in their early 20s, and the roles start dwindling. There have been many times I have watched movies where an average male actor is paired up with a supermodel-esque woman.